All right, today we're jumping into a really cool philosophical fantasy. We're going to unpack a story that's all about a single choice, a choice that basically defines existence itself. We'll explore how a simple object, a mirror, can actually be the biggest trap for the human will and what it really takes to overcome it.
Okay, let's set the scene here. We start our journey in a place that's literally called the Forest of Calcified Time. So picture this. History itself has become a prison. You've got these ancient pillars of solidified time blocking out the sky, and the air itself just feels heavy with the past. This isn't just a spooky forest, it's a state of mind.
So, on the path through this forest, our protagonist finds something, well, something deeply unsettling. He finds the tracks of a man named Ganem, but this isn't the story of a journey that reached its destination. It's the story of a journey that just stopped.
So what happened to Ganem? Well, his path didn't lead anywhere. His footprints literally just circle back on themselves. It's this perfect, sad picture of hesitation and doubt. So he was a false suitor of truth. He wanted truth to be this safe, static thing he could just hold on to. But the sheer weight of this place, the hostile density of the past, what the story calls the it was, it just crushed him. He wasn't killed, not in a physical sense. He was metaphysically frozen. And this crushing force, it actually has a name. The spirit of gravity. Now, this isn't about physics. It's the philosophical weight of history, of regret. It's everything that pulls you down and tempts you to just stick with what's comfortable and known, instead of risking a single step into the unknown. This is what beat Ghanem.
So, what was the final straw? What was the thing that truly trapped him? Well, it was an object lying right there on the forest floor, half buried and just waiting for the next person to come along. It's called the Superfluous Mirror, and trust me, this is no ordinary mirror. It's a relic from a kingdom of what the story calls the last men. These are people who find their only comfort, their only reality in their own reflection. They never look outward. So this mirror, it's a tool of stagnation.
Okay, this is the most important part. The whole point of this mirror, its function, is that it doesn't show you the world around you. It doesn't reflect the forest or the sky. No, it's a trap. It only reflects your own internal state, your fear, your self-pity, what the text calls the devil's grimace of your own ego. It takes all your inner turmoil and makes it the only reality you can see. And this is exactly how it got Ghanem. He looked into it, he saw his own fears staring back at him, and he got stuck in this horrible feedback loop. His suffering was confirmed, and that confirmation became his entire world. He was completely cut off from the wild wisdom of the world outside himself, just frozen there by his own reflection. So you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone look into a thing like that? It sounds awful, right? Well, because the mirror doesn't present itself as a trap. It makes a powerful, deeply seductive promise about the very nature of what it means to exist. And this is where our new hero, the initiate, arrives. He's at the exact same spot, facing the same mirror, the same choice that Ghanem faced. And it all boils down to this one single fundamental question.
The mirror basically presents two options, two answers to that question. On the one hand, you can be an object. You can be seen, defined by the outside world, confirmed. It's safe, sure, but it's static. Or you can be a subject. You can act on the world, define yourself through your actions, be free. It's terrifying, yeah, but it's dynamic. This whole conflict is based on a really interesting philosophical idea called the not I. The not I is basically everything outside of you that threatens to tell you who you are. And this mirror, it's the ultimate not I. It holds up an image and says, hey, this is you. Just accept this definition and you won't have to do the scary work of creating one for yourself.
And this is its whisper, its seductive promise. To keep moving forward into the unknown, that feels like you're vanishing, like you're losing yourself. But to look in the glass, that feels like being confirmed, like you're finally real. This is the core belief of the dogmatist, that truth is some static image you find, not a path you have to create yourself.
So the initiate is standing right there, at this precipice. He can feel the weight of his own past, the burden of his journey, what the story calls the burden of the camel, and it's all pulling him down towards the comfort of that glass.
And he is so tempted. He feels the spirit of revenge, that anger you feel at a silent, indifferent world, and the mirror is offering to validate that anger. To look into it would be to join Ghanem, to accept that his own suffering is all that he is. But then, right at that moment, He remembers a warning from his guide, the Magessa. She told him that truth refuses to be solved like a simple problem. She brings no peace but a war. The path forward isn't about finding comfort, it's about waging a conflict.
And this is where the initiate does something incredible. He performs an act of willing backwards. Now, this doesn't mean changing the past. It means refusing to let the past define your present. He realizes the mirror isn't a truth to be accepted. It's just a check, an obstacle designed to be overcome. It's the moment his own will, his absolute I, asserts its power over the not I. So what does he do? His action is it's a moment of profound, quiet defiance. He looks away. He doesn't smash the mirror, because even that would be reacting to it, giving it power. No, instead, he just makes it irrelevant. He simply steps over Ganem's stagnant, circular tracks and starts a new path forward where one didn't exist a second before.
In this one single internal act of will, it becomes the catalyst for a massive transformation, a total shift from one way of being to another.
This right here is the central lesson, the core idea of the whole story. Ganem, the coward, needed the mirror to prove he was real. But the initiate, the warrior, he breaks the glass, not with his fist, but by breaking its power over him, so that he can finally see the world again. He proves he's no longer just the camel, burdened by history and defined by the it was. He's becoming the lion, the spirit that doesn't just carry old values, but creates new ones. The spirit that says, I will, and forges its own future, treating the solid stone of the past like sleeping sand. So what you should take away from this is that existence isn't a state you find confirmed in some reflection. It's the continuous, dynamic act of creating who you are going to be. It's found in the forward momentum, not in the static image. The initiate leaves the mirror behind, reflecting nothing but the empty forest, and moves on. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about for ourselves. When we are faced with those tempting reflections of our own fear, our self-pity, our past, do we look in, hoping to be confirmed? Or do we break their power and look past?